Today's weather is sponsored by the Eye Care Associates of West Kentucky, the Paducah location, located at 1748 Broadway Street, downtown Paducah. Don't forget, if you want to sign up for the winter weather outlooks, just go to weathertalk.com or bodotsandweather.com. Click the daily weather summary. I think we're going to change the name of this tab today to Winter Weather Outlook. Just click that, and behind there, you'll see the Winter Weather Outlook with all of the details, graphics, whatever I've updated with will be behind that tab. Also wanted to mention real quick that I have updated all the probabilities here at around 5 o'clock Thursday evening. If you sign in your Weather Talk accounts and go to the Winter Weather Outlook, you'll see all new probabilities now for every county in the region. You can see what my forecast is, the amounts, what are the probabilities for those amounts. Good evening, I'm meteorologist Bo Dutch. It's January 12, 2017, and wow, what a cold front. Some of you have reported temperatures falling 20 to 25 degrees in an hour. Some of you had 10-degree drops in about 5 minutes. You'll be sitting in your car, and you know when this cold front moves through, look at these 70s over parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, the Missouri Boot Hill. That was all the way up here in Illinois earlier today. That's long gone. 32 degrees in St. Louis, Missouri at about 4:30 in the afternoon, 36 in Mount Vernon, 46 Paducah, 52 in Poplar Bluff. Still some 70s down here. Amazing. Cold air moving southward, and that's the problem over the next couple of days, as we're going to have precipitation continue while the cold air moves in. That spells trouble for freezing rain. Probably most of the precipitation that we're dealing with this event will be freezing rain. Could be a little bit of sleet, but freezing rain predominantly. National Weather Service issued an ice storm warning now in the purple. Now that does capture Randolph County in Illinois and St. Genevieve County in southeast Missouri. Then we go west-southwest from there. Now the Weather Service in Paducah has issued a freezing rain advisory for parts of southeast Missouri, Illinois, southwest Indiana, and northwest Kentucky. Now, they've left off a few counties. I sent out an alert earlier today for these exact same areas, but I did add in there Ballard, McCracken, Livingston, Crittenden. I believe I added Mississippi. Really too close to call right here. The Weather Service has freezing rain in the forecast for these areas, but just not sure about impact. Let's take into consideration a few things. Temperatures in the 70s today. Road temperatures are warm. Ground is warm. Going to take a while for those road surfaces to drop to freezing or below. Now, bridges and overpasses freeze first. Most of you know that. Ice is ice. Doesn't matter how much ice falls. Ice to the tires is ice. So bridges and overpasses, be careful. As far as power lines and trees, well, that's a question. Right now, my forecast has been trace amounts of freezing rain to maybe 0.2 of an inch. Now, with that said, I also mentioned maybe 1/4 of an inch to 0.3 of an inch over St. Genevieve County, Perry County in Missouri, and then a few southern Illinois counties. We'll keep an eye on it. The bottom line is, unless you have a 1/2 an inch or more of freezing rain, power lines probably not going to snap. Large tree limbs either. Can you have a little bit of a problem with these small freezing rain amounts? 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain? Sure. Dead branches fall, some small branches fall. If a dead branch falls on a power line, you might be power outages. I am not anticipating widespread power outages or damage in this pink zone. Now, you get back here into central Missouri, maybe a 1/2 an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of ice. If that happens, widespread power outages will occur, but lesser amounts in our area. There remain questions with this event on impact. I can forecast the weather. I'll tell you, we're going to have freezing rain, wintry mix in these areas, but what will the impact be? That's a little more complicated because you have to talk about road temperatures, surface temperatures, those kind of things, variables that go into play, and that is where the uncertainty lies, and the Weather Service has said this as well. Just not sure about main roads that are treated with temperatures in the lower 30s, whether there's going to be very many problems at all. Bridges and overpasses, yes. Secondary roads, perhaps. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Now, temperatures over the northern parts of the area may drop into the upper 20s tonight and Friday morning. That's going to be cold enough for some problems. But where we're talking about 30, 31, 32 degrees, a little more questionable. So we'll keep an eye on that. Go ahead and take a look at the temperature map. This is the high resolution afternoon model guidance from the NAM. We'll watch the cold front move southward, that sharp temperature contrast. We'll stop here at about midnight tonight. You see 29 degrees in Mount Vernon, 35 in Paducah. We'll move to the 6 a.m. hour. This blue line, that's your freezing line. Precipitation right on the borderline here of the 30, 31, 32, let's just say 31, 32. A little more problematic because surfaces are going to be so warm. So even though you're below freezing, you may not have very many problems, especially early on. If we can nudge those temperatures above freezing, we won't have any problems at all on this borderline area. Now, when you get back here to Mount Vernon at 28 and Carbondale 30, you're going to have more problems. Obviously, it's colder. Surfaces are going to cool faster. Going to have more problems. Let's go ahead and move through Friday and keep a close eye on the temperatures. You'll watch them rise ever so slowly, holding steady, maybe a slight rise. As ice melts, it produces a warming effect in the atmosphere, so we have to take that in consideration as well. When you have these borderline temperatures, sometimes the melting of ice will offset it and you'll pop above freezing. At least for a few hours. So we'll go through Friday. We'll stop here at the lunch hour. You see a little oddity here, and this is something we'll have to keep an eye on. This throws a monkey wrench into the forecast. 36 in Mount Vernon, 33 in Paducah, 32 in Carbondale, 28 in Potosi. This wedge of colder air has been showing up in the guidance. This really makes for a difficult forecast. Confidence on forecasting freezing rain is usually low to begin with, but if you have a map like this, it's even more complicated. How can extreme Illinois be below freezing while Mount Vernon is 36? These are the kind of things we'll have to keep an eye on Friday. Did my best with the forecast. The impact from the ice won't be all that great anyway because of the amounts, not like it's going to be back here in central Missouri. We'll keep an eye on these temperatures. This kind of throws me off a little bit, and I've been watching it. The models have been picking up on this warmer nudge of air. So we'll see how that works out. It could mess up the ongoing forecast. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Now watch temperatures falling again over parts of the area. Again, this is complicated. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We'll stop here at 6 o'clock on Friday. 34 Paducah, 33 Carbondale, 33 Mount Vernon. Freezing line slowly mudging back to the north and west. Again, a little lower confidence on what temperatures will be Friday evening, but at some point Friday evening, Friday night, I have temperatures going above freezing across quite a bit of southeast Missouri, west Kentucky, northwest Tennessee, much of southern Illinois. And as we move into Friday night and Saturday morning, watch temperatures sort of hover around that freezing mark in Mount Vernon and Carbondale, not moving much. Keep moving forward here. We'll get to 6 a.m. We see 32 in Mount Vernon, 33 Carbondale, 36 Paducah. Again, we'll keep an eye on these temperatures, especially the northern counties. But as we move through Friday night, temperatures should rise. That will bring an end, of course, to any freezing rain. We move through Saturday, we see quite a surge of warmer air, 40s in northwest Tennessee, and we see everyone going above freezing here as we move into Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Our concerns for frozen precipitation should come to an end. We'll keep an eye on Saturday night over our northern counties, but right now the thinking is that we should avoid another period of freezing rain in those areas on Saturday night. Again, we'll keep an eye on the northern counties Saturday night, elsewhere to be too warm. Let's go ahead and take a look at precipitation. And we see here this evening, we see this band of showers and thunderstorms moving southward with the cold front. The front stalls to our south, and as we move through the night, overrunning precipitation, warm air moves up and over the front, precipitation breaks out, and once temperatures fall below freezing, we'll watch for freezing rain to develop. Pink here, these red colors, freezing rain. Now, the NAM model has it all the way down to the Arkansas, Missouri border, parts of southeast Missouri, and into west Kentucky and Illinois. Further north you go, the colder it will be. Further south you go, the warmer it will be. We'll just have to keep an eye on those borderline counties. Stop here Friday morning at 9 a.m. The NAM does have freezing rain in, let's say, Ballard County, part of McCracken, northern Graves. Will that be right, or is that too far south? Well, that's a question mark, because remember when I told you about these border counties, 1 or 2 degrees could make all the difference. But with the roads so warm, even if the temperature dropped below freezing, it may not matter. It may not have a lot of problems. Tricky forecasts on the impact of all this. Again, it's easier to forecast the weather than to forecast the impact to road conditions. But we'll keep an eye on this. Will there be adjustments to the freezing rain advisory? It's possible. We'll just have to see what the Weather Service does. As we move through Friday lunch hour, we'll move in the afternoon. We see more precipitation developing to the west, sleet and purple, freezing rain, some rain back here. Again, will there be this warm nudge of air in here? It is possible, Models are showing that. Some of the guidance supports that idea. Meanwhile, back in here, maybe it'll be cold enough for freezing rain. Tricky forecast again. We'll move through Friday afternoon. I'll stop here at 6 o'clock. Still precipitation in our region. And then as we move through Friday night, the precip may move mostly off to the north as we start to warm in this area. That should shut down any of the freezing precipitation. Keep moving forward here. We'll get into 6 o'clock Saturday morning. You see freezing rain to our north. A little bit of rain over south Missouri, Illinois. Spotty showers over west Kentucky and northwest Tennessee. Move through the day on Saturday, and we see more precipitation moving back into the area, but this time it's rain and not ice. So there we go. Complicated forecast. Monitor updates. As of right now, the forecast is what it is. Not going to make any more adjustments today. Maybe later tonight we'll look at it again. Most concerned about that warm nudge of air over parts of Illinois that makes a little more complicated forecast. Meanwhile, some areas back in here remain below freezing. Some areas in here may go above freezing. Again, complicated forecast, monitor updates. The impact overall, bridges and overpasses could be a concern. Maybe secondary roads. We'll see how the main roads do since we're starting out so warm. And some accumulation of freezing rain on power lines and tree limbs, but probably not enough to cause any significant problems, maybe some isolated problems, especially back here in St. Genevieve County, Missouri, Perry County, Missouri, back in this area here where the freezing rain may last a little bit longer.